This is Happy Monkey.
This is Happy Monkey.
Happy Monkey. Happy Monkey.
This is Happy Monkey.
Hello, no one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
What's poppin', Happy Monkey? It's me, King Mono. You feel me? I'm in the cute town smoking on some GMO cookies right now. I just want to let you know you stole my name, but it's all good. Yours is English, I'm in Spanish. King Mono on deck, Happy Monkey. Celebration, I love you guys. Smoke one, tote one. Holla, holla.
Yes, and we on, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Everybody stay blessed, stay high. Season's greetings. Happy 420, everybody, from Ramon and Vlad and the Happy Monkey crew. What's going on? What you getting high to? Definitely get high with us. If you're not getting high, please light it. Don't fight it. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Today is an amazing day. It's like New Year's for the cannabis consumer and us in the industry. So happy to be here. Seems like forever ago, our first 420, about 2.5, 3 years ago. Yep. Now fast forward to the 2020 vision. And here we are, blazing and still feeling amazing. Absolutely, brother. This shit is and then it's crazy because this month, like everybody is obviously, it's 420 all month long. But this is a special month because, like I just said, for a month long you celebrate it like it's 420. And if we don't celebrate it like a real holiday, who else is gonna celebrate? Who else is gonna do it, Ralph? You know what I mean? So if we don't do it, we don't make this a big deal, then nobody will. And I think it's necessary in these crazy times we're living right now and all this COVID stuff that, the little bit of times we do got to smell the flowers like today, literally, and smoke the flowers. Absolutely. We need to do so, because it's like, I believe that this cannabis plant has helped us get through this time right now that's been so tough. So today's the day to celebrate it. Absolutely. 420 month for motherfucking 30 days is very special. And like you just said, it's important that we still do things where we can kind of still stay connected, because as a cannabis community, especially as smokers, this is usually something you do with a pair and a partner and a cipher, a group of people and all that other stuff. So it's important that we still give out this content that we've been giving out, especially this whole month. If you haven't been paying attention, Happy Monkey got, for the last 20 days, giving out different content on our YouTube, and straight up, revamping our podcast and all the good stuff. We've come, I guess, in this very short time of the industry, because now everything is at a pause. We done a lot. We had a real good 420 situations for the past 2 years, I would say. And it's been like a roller coaster for us to start from doing small events to barely knowing about the industry to be doing after parties at MJ Biz, biggest conference in the country, NCIA in Boston. We started from just I remember, I think our first piece of merch was a hat. Yeah. That was our first piece of merch, to us now having like an Omni Media channel, all sorts of different merch and apparel. It's been like a roller coaster the last 2.5 years. You know what I mean? And it's just like, right now, this is the day to celebrate what made it all happen for us, which is this magical cannabis plant. It's like today's his birthday kind of thing. Absolutely. I mean, it's an unspoken holiday for the stoners. It's official. It's officially unofficial, but it's official type of shit. You know what I mean? I hope everybody is definitely getting high as you're listening to this because I'm definitely smoking. As you can, I smoke in every show that we record. Definitely. So this one is definitely a special one, like you said, because we smoking for all the stoners that we can't be together. This is me hugging you from us, HappyMunkey, to y'all, to wherever you at, from wherever we are. Love, light, and happiness. And yeah.
I want to thank all the people that have really embraced us in this industry in this little time, from all the people we work with, like Last Prisoner Project, Steve D'Angelo,
yes.
to, Ronnie and them from Honeysuckle, to David Tran, Dope Magazine, and, for him including us in this amazing charity that's happening today, Chronic Relief and Feeding America, for us to use, our platform that we work so hard to gain for something positive like that, and for him to allow us to be part of it is a big deal. And all the other people that have embraced us in the industry, you know
Absolutely.
what I mean? ArcView, all these amazing people, you know what I mean? They've really embraced us and made us feel like family,
Absolutely. Shout out to Chloe Villano, came out to New York, gave us an award. Shout out to the NORML organization. They actually had their first annual award. They gave us an award, so shout out to them. It's a lot of love being felt by the community, and we definitely appreciate it. And we thank you guys.
And this joint we smoking right now, I want to dedicate to my brother from another mother. Hopefully he's lighting up in heaven. Doug Greene from the NORML organization.
Absolutely.
Also played a major role and was an inspiration and a mentor to us, and definitely dropped a lot of jewels and showed us a lot of love.
Absolutely, bro. That was, like I said, this cannabis thing took us on this roller coaster, and Doug to me, was like, we were an unlikely pair on the low. Nobody knew, I guess not, but he was like a really cool dude on the low. He was a very awkward guy, but he was super cool, and a lot of love for you, Mr. Doug. Thank you very much for all that you've done. And he definitely embraced us in the community, so
It's like I said, you know what I mean? I really believe, you know what I mean? And today's a day that shows it. If you look at all the amazing people in the industry coming together to put out all this positive energy during these bad times, that I feel like the cannabis industry has the best percentage of humanity in every race, culture, religion that you could think of. It feels like the best percentage of every people that really are in this for the right reasons are like, you know what I mean, they're all amazing people that, that the cannabis industry and the cannabis plant has brought us together with, you know what I mean? And it's just amazing to see, like, you know what I mean? It's like in a short time, because of the plant, you feel like family when you, it's like, it's like a tribe.
Yeah, it's your tribe, man. It's your tribe. And you guys, we all know that cannabis is not a fatal and wrong thing. We all know it's medicine, and let's get over it, man. But happy 420, everybody. A lot of love. And sometimes I'm a little speechless because it's crazy. We've done a lot in these past 3 years, type of situations.
Like a roller coaster. From smoking and smoke rides, going around Manhattan in basements and rooftops, to now being around people that you didn't know existed, and gatherings and smoking and sharing this cannabis plant together. It's been like the great equalizer, and it seems like it's been like we feel like we helped make it a thing over here in New York, where people feel like it was okay to come out the closet and gather and consume together and celebrate these days like today, just like they would any other holiday.
Absolutely, my friend. Definitely warms my heart. Let's not forget that you came out on the post. My fault. Hold on. Let me sideways. Let's not forget you came out on the post not too long ago. If you guys haven't, I'm not even going to tell you too much. Look up the post. My man Vladimir came out on the post as a consumer, and has some good things to say. Check out the post. Google it. Check us out on our website. You might find it.
And I was so surprised, to see how far we come over here in New York for a newspaper like The Post to be talking about me and the company cannabis in a positive light. It says we've came a long way, you know?
Shout out to Stu.
Stu Zackham, the PR that has shot us to mainstream. Thank you, Stu.
Yeah, man. You know, we just two young men just trying to do our thing here, man. That's all it is, man. Nothing more, nothing less. Trying to get the piece of the American dream with my man Ralph here. And that's it, man. And just trying to show love, man.
Yeah, that's another thing. People don't know, you know what I mean? A lot of people just see HappyMunkey and just see Vlad and Ramon, but don't know that behind the scenes, you know, we have so many amazing people that help us achieve these dreams. Like executive producer here, Ralph.
Absolutely.
With the curls,
The
you know,
girl,
David.
girls.
You know
Yes,
what I mean?
sir.
COO.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? We got Tech King.
Yes,
helps with all the
sir.
technological stuff.
Yes, sir.
We have the Weekend Warriors. So it's just like a lot, you guys don't see them, but there's like a army of people behind us that believe in us, that help us, you know, sound and look this good. And if it wasn't for them believing in the movement and in the brand, it would be hard for us to be here with you guys at the level we are.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out to all the ladies in HappyMunkey that help us out, man. Shout out to Raina. Shout out to Jennifer, Gender Problem. Shout out to I Am Black Rose NYC, La Rosa Negra. You know what I mean?
DJ Omi.
DJ Say Lagoon. This shit is getting crazy, man. This shit is, you know.
DJ Nala.
Yes, yes, yes. And all the ladies, man, that help us out and like give us this perspective of what a lady of cannabis is, and their, you know, in their perspective, and then and all the women in the cannabis industry that have supported us. So definitely, you know, gotta show everybody love, man. We, you know, this shit is strong because of them. You know, we are strong because of them.
1,000%. I want to shout out one of my mentors, part of ArcView, investor, but more importantly, he's been like a mentor and like an older sister to us, Barbara Paley.
Oh,
Thank
shout out
you.
to Bobby. Yes, yes, yes. Like, don't call me Bobby, call me Bobby. But shout out to her, man, and everybody else, man, that's been showing us love throughout this journey. Shout out to Sana CBD, Salam and Steph.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. They are definitely are like that straight up soul and energy when it comes to them. They always show love and been supporters and helping us with the whole body and wellness part of HappyMunkey. They are a force to be reckoned with. You know, they are our partners every time we go out of town to these conferences and all that shit, man. They're definitely a great spirit to have around. Definitely great pair.
Shout out to International P also.
Maldito
Definitely
loco.
has, you know what I mean, helped us out a lot on media, because at the beginning, a lot of people don't know. Me and Ramon didn't really know how it would go, like us, you know what I mean, being so on media and speaking in public. And
Yes,
he really
yes.
inspired us to push forward and to really, you know, go hard and come out and public speak.
Yeah, and do this podcast, you know. And
podcast.
it was dope. It was really dope. And now we're here, you fucking crazy guy.
So yeah, it's crazy like how we went from like, you know, not even really wanting to do the podcast and really want to speak in public.
Remember, International Pete did all
He
this.
said all this has to be documented, and
Yeah, he
you
did
guys
all the
have to
interviews.
really be, you know, public speaking, and you got to be in the media more. And now, fast forward, you know what I mean, 2020, we have so many amazing things
We got a
going
lot of
on.
shit.
Like we just started the new segment, you know, HappyMunkey Happy Hour with Vlad for the quarantine,
With yours truly. Yeah,
which
that's
you
what dope.
asked me up to do.
Absolutely.
And then we have Monkey Sessions, which is definitely doing great also.
Yes. Check that out, everybody.
We got the HappyMunkey ASMR.
Yeah. Definitely check that out real quick. You might like that.
Then we have the Valid Not Valid, and all these things you can find on WeTube. And it's just crazy, like, you know what I mean, how it snowballed into all these different amazing shows
Hell
and,
yeah,
all,
we
and
got
ideas.
bad shit, bro. We got fucking Kevin Smith showing us love. If you guys don't know who Kevin Smith is, that's silent.
Oh, that's another one I forgot. A bunch of testimonials.
Bunch of fucking Mitzi Stone, a porn star. Like, we got all sorts of like crazy people like from all over the world showing us love. And you know, we got a lot of content, and you can just check us out on WeTube. We definitely on Spotify. You know, if you're not listening to us through Spotify, we on Spotify.
And I think that, like, I mean, like what it says on our website, like we really embody, like we are the heart of New York City cannabis, and that's what I feel like. I feel like it's not so much just me and you. It's just that this amazing culture over here in New York didn't have a voice,
Right.
and I just feel like it's just speaking through us.
Right. So now let's elaborate a little bit on that, because when we tell somebody, yo, so when you consider yourself the New York City, like the heart of New York City cannabis, what do you answer to that? You know what I mean?
Oh, what I answer to that is that I just feel like we're the vessel that the blood pumps, which is like basically the culture, and we just happen to be able to have a platform for the culture that we know, all the people we know in the industry, all the consumers, for us to speak for them to the world and convey how they do things, how the culture is here, how cannabis is here. And I just think that we're just the fortunate ones to be able to convey that message that the whole city feels like and the whole vibe is over here.
Absolutely. I like that. I kind of feel the same way in the sense where you say we are the heart because, all the blood comes through the heart, right? All the blood through your body has to come through the heart. So basically, culture has to come through the heart. Corporate has to come through the heart. Hip hop, women, everybody got to come through the heart. So I kind of like that analogy as far as, you know what I mean?
Because like I said, I don't feel like me and you are like just like
No,
as
it's not
well.
about me and
I
you.
think it's just that we just created these platforms and gave all these people a voice through us and the culture a voice to be able to be like, these people speak for us over here.
Also, we provided a window to what's going on over here.
Exactly.
At least from our opinion, you know what I mean?
Our perspective.
And our perspective.
And everybody we know's perspective
everybody
from
we
here.
know, yo, that's from here, that's it, and you can, it's we put it out on the table, and it's a lot for me and you to come from where we come from to start doing this and speaking very publicly and you getting on camera, you going to the source.
Yes.
So there's a lot of it's a lot. It's a lot. And it's
and you know where it comes from, like, you know what I mean, that you just don't imagine that so many people want to know these things, how we think here, how we feel here, how we smoke here, and you would think that it wouldn't be that interesting, but it is, because before us, like you said, there was no window.
Yeah.
So it's like people want to know like how things work here, and we just gave them a window, and then we gave the people on the other side of the window a
glimpse,
a way to show the people on the other side of the window what's going on.
Yeah, man, because just simple shit where the regular Joe here in New York City has to smoke in his rooftop or like in his basement or some shit like that, because you can't smoke on his front lawn or in the backyard or some shit like that. You know what I mean? That doesn't exist here. Unless you live like in fucking Queens or something and all the way in the suburbs, but that doesn't exist.
It's crazy. Like I was telling a friend the other day, right, that it's crazy. Like when we grew up, the most luxurious, safest way you could smoke, coming where we come from humble beginnings, in the hood, was you had a friend with a car, and to drive around Manhattan from the west side to the FDR was like the best, most flyest way to smoke at the time.
Absolutely. You just get on the highway, you ain't getting stopped.
You don't gotta worry about the wind.
No, you ain't gotta worry about the wind eating it. And you just cruising, bro, and you play whatever favorite music it is at the time, and you just blow it down. You know what I mean? And back then it was dubs, so you was buying 20s and let's all get high, and it was crazy. We was hot boxing the whip, crazy.
We didn't even know it was hot boxing the whip.
Nah, we was just smoking.
We were just smoking like, yo, we could smoke safely, and we don't gotta worry about the wind and no cops or nothing, and like we could just really zone out.
That was crazy, bro. But it's been a journey, and we are here, and we are happy that people embraced us the way they did, and however we can show the love back, we will, and we do. I hope.
That's why I'm so honored for us to be a part of that, whole chronic relief thing.
Oh, yeah, that's
feeding
crazy.
America.
Oh, yeah,
because it's that's the ultimate feeling for all the work we put in to create this platform, to be able to do something to give back like that in such a bad time like this, and to put it to positive use like that. It's a good feeling.
Absolutely, man. That shit is crazy. That was a really, really dope idea. And
so let's talk about our first 420.
the first 420,
Because you've always been a big advocate of 420, even before Happy Monkey.
even before Happy Monkey, I would literally go to my old block, and I'll get together with the whoever's outside type of shit, because if it's warm, there's a lot of niggas outside. If it's cold, ain't too many niggas outside. So whoever's outside, yo, what's up? What y'all doing? Boom, we get together, we get some weed together, and we go up to the rooftop, and niggas roll up however they roll up. Either they roll up Godfathers, or they roll up their own blunts, or the long extendos, the double barrels, and niggas is just smoking on the roof, you know what I mean? You get together, and people would just celebrate 420. And then when the whole Happy Monkey, when we came up with the brand, and I was like, yo, the grinders and all that stuff, I didn't realize that there really wasn't not a place, but a space,
a gathering.
There wasn't a platform of people just gathering to smoke.
No, that was foreign over here.
There was, there wasn't somebody having an open house where you could just go and it's just a smoking thing, not no heavy drugs, no alcohol, no none of that shit. Just a bunch of potheads. That unless you're a bunch of friends, but there was no space and time and life and nothing.
And it's just crazy how everything from, like you said, even before Happy Monkey, you were always into 420, so you used to go on the roof and smoke with everybody, to even the fact that the whole idea of everything sparked by you going to Amsterdam and gathering with strangers that you never knew. Absolutely. And seeing a place like that and smoking with them gave you that inspiration.
Yeah. It was the whole thing, because it wasn't... All right, obviously you walked into the place, you smell weed. Right, but the weed was behind a bar and you order or whatever the case may be. But that wasn't the big idea. So the whole thing was just, you got people from all over the world sitting together, smoking. And I thought to myself, damn, that's just why New York is just like that. There's a bunch of people from all over the world in New York City. And I'm pretty sure there's a billion people just walking around that just want to go to somewhere and just smoke. And I have to think about getting belligerently drunk or all this other shit. They just want to smoke. And I experienced that over there. And not only that, like you said, I got to speak to people from all over the world. Obviously out of the pair, you're the one that's the outrovert.
More the talker.
The talker, you know what I mean? So for me to just be there and was able to partake with a whole bunch of people from all over the world within in an hour or two type of shit, I was like, oh yeah, this is a bunch of people out there like me, and it's a great opportunity to just have a space where people just chill and connect, and that's basically it right now. You know what I mean? Whether you like it or not, we basically made people connect.
Of course.
On another level. And people
that's why it's the great equalizer.
Yeah.
This relationships based off of these gatherings.
Exactly. So that was the whole thing. You used the concept of the peace pipe. And that's basically what we did.
I never forget a friend of mine. He told me one time, I said, if you had to describe the energy and the vibe in some of our events, and he said, well, I have to take you back to the Native American days. It feels like you're sitting around the fire, teepee style, and you're passing around the peace pipe.
That's it.
That's the energy he said he felt.
That's it. And no matter where you are, where you come from, you're the biggest shark in Wall Street, or you're the fucking thuggest thug of the thugs, when you walk into a Happy Monkey equation, you kind of like it brings you to another. It levels you out. You know what I mean? You kind of forget about being the shark and being the thug. That becomes a whole different. Like you know, that shit goes out.
All your status outside of the gathering doesn't apply here.
It doesn't apply.
You're just a stoner here, and everybody else is just a stoner, just like you.
That's it.
And that's the common denominator you have with everybody there.
That is it. And that usually takes people into a positive conversation, into a positive partnership, into a positive connection, no matter what they do, even if they just have conversations when they bump into each other every once in a while. But it started off in a positive light.
And the crazy part is that when you first came back from Amsterdam and you told me about this idea of these gatherings and events, I looked at you like you were from outer space. Like, what is he talking about?
Yeah, because it wasn't based off money. The idea wasn't based off money. So people kind of looked at it like, huh? But it made sense because the people of money were the people that were kind of like initiating the gatherings. Like, where you guys at? You saw it. We went to Vegas the first time. First time going to the conference.
Yeah.
We've never been to a conference, an MJ Biz conference.
No.
And the people were calling you when we woke up the next morning, like, yo, what are you guys doing? Where you guys at? What's going on with y'all? We like, we don't know. We thought you guys were going to the conference and going to walk around on the floor. Then fuck the floor. Where y'all at?
People love that energy, man.
They love that energy. So, you know, we kind of ran with the energy, and we ran with the merch. We ran with the media. We ran with all these things because that's what people wanted. We figured out people want an inside look on what's going on. Because they ask you all the time, yo, what's going on? What's happening? So
and it's just crazy that the foundation of everything is just like, you know, that thought of, you know, people needing a place to gather and to smoke together, and then so many things were born organically and naturally from there. Mm-hmm. Just like a plant.
That's it. Just like the plant, my friend. And, you know, that shit warms my heart, man, because that was the goal, man. That was the whole goal. That was the whole shit right there, bro. We did it. And you know, 2020, you know, regardless of the fact that we living through these troubling times and all this other shit, you know, at least we can definitely able to still smoke and enjoy your medicine at home.
Yeah, and I've always said, man, and I'm happy that we have those. The only thing that's not disposable in life is memories and experiences. And thanks to, you know, this amazing plant, we have a lot of amazing experiences and memories.
And friends, and absolutely, it was definitely. So definitely stay tuned for the crazy podcast episode for 420. We got the president of NORML, New York chapter, Ben Leiner.
We have hip hop artist and future star Life Like Davis.
Yes, sir. And then we also got a big New York native cannabis entrepreneur, co-founder of Pistil Point.
Our brother that came by and dropped so many jewels on us, Sid Gupta, co-founder of Pistil Point. And, you know, want to thank him for coming by, dropping some jewels and rocking with us on such an amazing day like today.
Today is a very special episode because we got all special types of special guests for you. And we start off with a friend of ours called Ben Leiner.
That amazing man that came through on the boulevard is a good friend of the family. He works with NORML. I believe he's the president of the New York City chapter. And, you know, they just, you know, he's always embraced us since we first met him. I think we met him at a Canna Gather or something like that. And ever since, you know what I mean, took us in and introduced us to the rest of the NORML family, and always just kept us in sight on regulations and what's happening. And most importantly, became a great friend to us and really, you know what I mean, embraced us and showed us how things are changing in the corporate cannabis scene and the political cannabis scene, and was always very nice. And through him, we met our great friend Doug.
Absolutely, Mr. Doug Greene. Yeah, man. My man Ben, a fellow blunt smoker. Cause you would not think it when you see Mr. Ben, but he's a fellow blunt smoker, backwoods smoker, he smokes it all. He an OG New Yorker type of smoker, right? So because through him, like you said, we met our friend Doug Greene. Doug Greene actually had a photo shoot, and he was like pretty much the magazine that he was doing the shoot for.
Yeah, it was Crane magazine. He made it an issue because he loved the monkey movement so much. He made it an issue where they would shoot the shoot while we having one of our events.
Absolutely, and they were like, "Well, fuck it, that's where you want it, Mr. Greene. That's where we gonna do it." And he had his photo shoot, smoking his joint, rebel style. And shout out, R.I.P. to Mr. Doug Greene, man.
Yeah, man, that was like definitely the true epitome of a cannabis revolutionary and a person that was amazing person personally, and not many people we met as committed to the plant and it being mainstream and fighting for it as much as him.
Absolutely, he was definitely committed to the cause as far as making sure it gets legalized in the right manner. That dude knew the law, the cannabis law here in New York State, back and forth. He knew the book, like his backhand. Like that was probably maybe one of very few here in New York that knows everything about the cannabis laws here in New York State, bro. So shout out to him.
And it was all passion. It wasn't like, none of it was like, for any monetary reason. It's just like he just dedicated his life because he felt like so passionate about people being able to have this amazing plan in their lives.
Real simple shit, man. But definitely. Real special 420, like we said, with our friend Ben Leiner. And I think you guys, tune in.
We have a very distinguished special guest today out here in the boulevard, a good friend of ours. He is executive director of the organization NORM. He is a very, 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 very strong advocate of the cannabis plant that we all love. Mr. Ben Leiner from NORML.
Thank you,
yes,
guys.
sir,
So
ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you
My
for
man.
gracing the boulevard with your presence.
Yes,
sir. My man Ben, a.k.a. find him on @Ben Needs a Username. My man OG Zen Ben.
Thank you, guys. Thanks very much.
So, Mr. Ben,
Tell
we
the
need
people
to
who you are, my
educate the
friend.
people in Happy Monkey Land on the amazing journey that Ben has played and what NORML plays in the cannabis industry that they know now to be so available to them.
Right. Well, NORML is the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws. It's been around for 50 years, since 1970. Started by this guy, Keith Stroop, in D.C. He'll be coming to New York October 22nd for NORML Awards. And
Nice.
basically, their mission has been to end the prohibition of cannabis. And since 1970, they've gotten pretty close, and they keep on moving the needle closer and closer. And the reason we're all here today is basically because of the work that they've been doing, selflessly, really for no gain.
Absolutely.
I
I want to
out to
thank
them,
them
everybody.
and you for pushing it to where it is right now, because I think it's as close as it's ever been.
You guys are doing it. You guys are part of it and really making a difference here in New York. So the community that you guys have formed here is just really special, and I think something that's accelerating the process of, ending the stigma, bringing people together. The cat's out of the bag that, people from government have been here and have seen how great this place is, and how cannabis is a force for community and creativity and peace. Really,
Definitely.
That means a lot coming from you, my friend. We've had all sorts of characters here, and as you see, this is what we try to show everyone. And you being here, telling everyone that we are a part of that means a lot to us, because it started out of love, and now we're here,
So tell us, Ben, as far as you, how long have you been involved in NORML, and what exactly gave you the epiphany to play such a major role in this fight against
right? So
power?
I've been part of NORML for 2.5 years, not a really long time. But I've always, cannabis has always been part of my life, and I've always felt like this was an underrated issue, that it's, an issue of ruining people's lives for something that, how many of the recent presidents have smoked cannabis? Like probably all of them, since everybody in this room's been alive.
The flag, first flag was made of it.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
just
but I
in
mean, like, all
general,
these people, like,
just
you know,
lately, recently,
Obama, if he'd gotten busted just once,
it would have
for
been
smoking
over.
cannabis,
Yeah,
it
that's
would've been
it.
totally over.
Same with Clinton.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And
Same with
so
Bush.
They got away with it, and it's something yet that they still have put people in jail for. So that's something that always rubbed me the wrong way, and thought that we need to end this significant part of the drug war.
Thank you, my ally friend.
Thank you for your efforts and for all your blood, sweat, and tears that you've put to push the needle to where it is now.
Absolutely.
Now, we got to get into Ben personally and his journey in cannabis. Tell us about your first time consuming this magical plant and how it affected your life.
First time you
and your
get
journey.
high, Ben, let us know.
I always knew cannabis was going to be part of my life. I remember being a little kid and walking down the street and smelling it and just knowing I don't know exactly what that is, but I want it. I want to be around that. And even as I got a little bit older, I always knew one day I was going to smoke weed. And I don't know, the first time was pretty generic with a bunch of friends when I was 16 years old.
Okay.
Some guys.
And where was this at?
This was in Manhattan. I'm from New York City.
Okay.
So,
Where did you grow up at,
New
Ben?
York.
I'm from 27th Street. It's verified. Vlad, you can check.
Absolutely.
You know how it is, man.
New York.
We gotta keep all the New Yorkers in check, man, because
Absolutely.
it's I feel like that plays a big role. The true New Yorkers are really telling people how the cannabis culture has been from then to now.
Yeah, I was going, how it changed, especially from your perspective.
So,
we got two different perspectives. We was uptown, you downtown.
So tell us, 16 years old, 27th Street, how is it going down?
It was some dudes that I knew through that I knew from boarding school. They went to boarding school. I didn't go to boarding school. I went to Stuyvesant, International Peace. So that's two Stuyvesant.
Okay.
But
Shout out to Stuyvesant.
So tell us what kind of weed this was, if you remember, what you were smoking, and walk us through us.
It was
Let us live through you, Ben.
It was probably some Vermont Perps or something, because of where they
Vermont
were
Perps.
from.
Look at
something
that.
like
We wasn't even hearing about shit like that yet up here. All right. Okay.
they might not have known what it was, but that's what
Right.
it was. We smoked it in a bowl. We were with some
Okay, in
Smoked
a
it
bowl.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were with some really rich girl, and we went into a Chinese restaurant. We all got really stoned. People are like, "Oh, the first time you smoke, you don't get to." I got really stoned the first time I smoked.
You got the munchies right away,
got
Ben?
the munchies real
time,
quick.
and we just ordered everything. We were laughing nonstop as we ordered everything.
Of
Those
course.
bomb rigs
That
were
was
no
it.
joke either.
That was it. Yeah,
And I
right
paid
there.
for it all. And
Oh
it was-
shit,
yeah.
even better. Yeah, so that was an awesome experience.
That bong is direct. That doesn't take long like the smoker.
No.
That hits you right away.
Yeah, that hits you right away, man.
But things changed quickly. We moved on to. We were all about White Owls. We were just.
White Owls,
my man,
that's
what's
true.
up?
NYC.
What?
I don't know if people even
Cannabis
smoke White
culture.
Owls anymore, but
That's crazy. Well, you see,
Yeah,
you
we
couldn't
grew up.
escape it.
We grew up. It was
We
White
grew up
Owls.
with smoking
White
White
Owls,
House.
It
There
was
you
White
go.
House, Phillies, and Dutchess. That
That's
was
it. That was it.
Yeah, Phillies burn too fast. They just burn too fast. That's the
Oh,
problem,
my
right?
man,
And
Ben.
then Dutchess are great, but we were White Owls.
We were White House.
White
people.
House.
Okay, my man.
One
Ben.
paper or two paper? You put in the two paper to make it burn slow, right?
Yeah, for sure. White House.
yeah.
Just split it down the middle and roll.
boom.
Yeah.
Yo, man, Ben, man, that's crazy. You were smoking straight hood whiteouts.
Zero
So-
period.
so-
we
even
had
know
zero
it.
period
So
club
when did
before
you
school.
become like a mainstream smoker like consistently? What was when was it that you started being?
You're like, fuck it, like that's it. I don't
yeah.
care who
like
knows.
it became like everyday
like-
ritual type of thing.
Like pretty quickly after that.
Oh, so you fell in love fast, huh?
Yeah, I'm telling you, like I always knew it was coming. It was just like I didn't rush it. You know, a lot of
Right.
people started when they were younger, and it just didn't happen to me. But I knew like one day, and then when
I
it
could
did,
tell you always got that Zen, cool, calm, and collective. You look like you're always
Yeah.
high.
I feel like
Yeah.
I was just always waiting. You know, to be honest, like I always felt like I think when I was younger, like a little tense all the time. And then when I found weed, it was just like, oh, okay, this is what normal feels like. So for me, it's like some people need a little weed, some people need a lot weed, some people don't need weed at all. But for some people, it's just like it helps make life better for sure.
How about edibles? When's the first time you had your first edible?
Edibles? Yeah, I'm not a big edibles guy. I don't know. You know, I've recently gotten into them a little bit more, but we used to bake brownies and cookies and stuff like that. But it wasn't
Yeah,
like
I'm a big smoker myself. I'm not.
we definitely didn't know how many milligrams were in there.
How about dabbing? When was your first dab?
That's pretty recent. Like just in the last probably like 3-4 years.
Yeah, New Yorkers is not.
That's all new to the culture, yeah.
Very new to the
I mean,
culture.
vape carts, when that just came out of kind of nowhere.
Yeah.
Somebody told me about it, and I was like, well, I never heard it. And then everyone kind of knew about them, and then they were just everywhere. Before that, you couldn't even imagine vape carts.
What you think about this like little current situation about vapes in general? Like, it killed a few people. Now they're kind of like making it a big deal, like cigarettes, alcohol, or anything else. I'm not, I don't want to like say, but it's giving you facts, right? Like vape killed a couple people. Well, yesterday somebody probably died. A couple people probably died of a car accident or something. But a lot of people died. So what do you think about the little vape situation? That people are like getting a black market, and
I don't know. I don't want to be another one of these guys that say I told you so.
Right.
But I told you so.
Right. Shit. Right.
Like weed is great. Like the way it is, the flower, it's perfect. Like everything in there works together. It's
right.
really unique. The way it's got these special properties that nothing else really has. That anything else when you inhale it is, so clearly bad for you. But cannabis, you can smoke it and possibly it's not bad for you and good for you. So
like that's a way to do it, right? Because
it's the flower,
kids,
man. It's the flower.
some kids need the oil or something for seizures and stuff like that, but
they don't need vape. Most
yeah,
of
they
them
don't need the vape.
I mean, maybe for school or some people do.
Yeah,
if they need it, they should
tincture or
have it.
something, but
don't this dank vapes thing. Like
Yeah.
anybody who's still selling dank vapes, like change the brand. It's dead.
Right.
Please.
Let me ask you a question, Mr. Zen Ben. What has been the pinnacle for you since you've been involved in NORML the 2.5 years? What was like a good, monumental moment for you that you saw something that made a big difference since you've been involved?
I mean, that's tough. There are like individuals who make a huge difference. There's not a ton of people in this movement. There's a ton of people who smoke.
Yeah, but
there's
there's
not a ton of them that are willing to come out and tell people they smoke. And then out of those who are willing to come out, not a ton of those who are willing to like actually get involved and put in time and energy. So the few people who do come out, there's only some that are like really special, and those special people make monumental changes. And there's people, the superstars in the community. You see them, and when you hear them speak, you're like, oh, this person's a superstar. And so like someone like Doug Greene, who
Yes, man. Rest in peace, our good friend Doug Greene, man. What an amazing person. God did so much, man, and legends never die, and his name is gonna live forever as long as we're around, because he really was like one of the most passionate, like you said, real people that was really
I know you asked him
wholehearted.
what was one of his pinnacles, but I tell you, one of mine's, not to butt in, but one of mine's was kind of meeting Doug Greene on the low, because I say Doug Greene because he was this real awkward, different person, right? This real different white boy.
By the
from-
way,
from
guys, Doug
suburbs.
Greene is a friend of ours that passed away that was also involved in NORML and was
Absolutely.
an advocate for cannabis change for, I would say, like
Absolutely.
20, 30 years, right, Ben?
Yeah, like 30 years. I
Yeah,
mean,
going strong.
you wouldn't look at him and think this guy's,
Yep, that he-
something years old, but he's
exactly.
been doing it for 30 years, and nobody worked harder or knew more about New York State.
Absolutely not.
legislation.
More than him? Absolutely not. He was on it. Real intelligent guy. And like I said, coming from our background, I would have never in a million years thought that me and him would like bond so quickly. And we went up to Albany. We met each other. He went up on the bus and I went on my own driving up there. And he was like, yo, I'm going down with you, man. You going driving? We going down with you. So we got to bond in those drives. Because, if anybody's taking a drive with someone, you bond with them. You know what I mean? And he smoked the blunt with me. This is someone, like you said, someone who's very smart, knows about all the bills and legislative and done all these things. So I'm over here smoking blunts with my man Snoop Diggity Doug. So it's like, we get to bond this long-ass ride. And that was like real cool. And he again, something that was very out of the ordinary for me. So I was very, very honored to be a part of that man's life. So thank you very much, Mr. Doug Greene.
Yeah.
And everything you've done, we will keep it moving for you, my friend. Trust me.
So what do you see now on the horizon as far as like all these things we hear? The cannabis industry is changing. Legalization is allegedly on the horizon, allegedly expanded medical, allegedly recreational. We need to hear it from the horse's mouth, Mr. Zemben. What do you see and what is your perspective?
I think less people are going to be arrested for cannabis. I think there's going to be a lot more
Nice. We need that.
douchey, terrible cannabis companies run by PR whores who
Corporate America.
are just trying to manipulate the public with big advertising and marketing money to buy shitty, light dep weed. And that's unfortunate. There's people who really want to find great weed will still be able to find great weed, and more people smoking weed is going to be great for the whole world, I think. And it's going to be great to be able to, not have to worry about smoking a joint and someone taking your kids away.
Word.
It's going to be great. How many people's lives have just been ruined by...
Yeah.
Once you go to jail for, something to do with cannabis, we're talking about people who are still in jail for serving, 20, 30 years
Absolutely.
for just cannabis. And people are like, oh, they must have also, shot someone or else... No, it's just cannabis.
Yeah.
That's
Just
it.
cannabis.
Just cannabis.
Non-violent.
Yeah.
No.
They're like, oh, this rapist, he got out in 10 years.
Yeah.
This guy's still... And John Boehner is making $20 million for doing it. John Boehner, who is, from
The biggest conservative
yeah.
against it now.
Who made all these laws again. And so for any state to be like, we're still going to put people in jail and ruin their lives when these, lawmakers are making millions of dollars from it, and, former CEOs from Kellogg and other companies are making millions of dollars from it. It's absurd. It's absurd.
it's
Everybody
crazy.
knows it, and having to wait.
The
even
hypocrisy of
another
the
day-
democracy, Ben.
Yeah, but having to wait even another day, they're like, oh, it's coming, and it's coming in a year, it's coming in 2 years, but having to wait another hour, another day.
Yeah, it's
ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. So how long you think it's gonna take before it becomes recreational? Everyone, just so you know.
In this small town called New York City, Ben.
Here in New York City, it might be, adult use in New York City might be after it goes legal federally. It could be federal before, if it's legal federally, it would still be illegal here in New York. So
I didn't know that.
it
That's
could happen.
crazy.
It could happen in 2020 that the law changes, and then we would have rec in 2021. I'd say a lot of people, feel like it's about 50-50 because it's an election year.
It's a
It's
towing
really going to
cost.
come down to people coming out. If everybody who smoked weed came out for
fuck
5 minutes,
Yeah.
and we're just
It'll
like,
change
we're
everything?
here, we smoke weed.
Yeah.
That
You
would
hear
change
that, Happy
everything.
Monkey World? You guys got to
That's
come and have your voice heard. If you're
Yeah,
tired
man.
of being prosecuted for cannabis and you want to
Yeah, man.
just make it mainstream, you
mainstream.
got to
Shout
step
out
up
to-
to the plate.
Hashtag monkey challenge, baby. Hashtag monkey challenge. Let me see you smoking. Let me see you. That's it, man. That shit normal. Everybody, wherever you should be smoking cigarettes and stuff like that, people should be able to smoke their little joint or whatever the case may be. Cause
You guys saw me in front of the White House.
Yeah, that was dope, man. We love that. We love that, man. You know, and that's just basically just to pretty much just ruin that stigma. We want to ruin that stigma. Fuck that stigma. Yeah.
Mr. Ben, we always ask everybody that comes here, if you had to describe HappyMunkey, the brand, the movement, the whole essence of it in one word, what word would that be, Mr. Ben?
Wow, it's tough. I guess I'd say community.
Oh,
I'll take community, baby.
That's what cannabis is all about for me too. So that's why HappyMunkey's so awesome, because it just brings that community that cannabis does. You know, it makes that happen. So thank you guys so much for creating this awesome space for all of us.
Thank you for gracing us with your presence, for coming on the boulevard and educating all the people in HappyMunkey world about all the changes happening in legalization.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Where can we find Mr. Ben and the Norm organization? How can we find you? What's the website?
The main thing is check out Instagram, NYC NORML, and New York NORML.
How do you spell that?
NYC NORML and NYNORML. So there's no A.
All right, my brother. Thank you very much. Like my friend and my partner over here said, thank you for coming out on the boulevard. God bless you. Good night.
Happy 420, everybody. Today, like we said, it's a crazy 420 episode. So we gonna have all types of people from the life and the culture of New York City natives. And today we got the youth on board, hip hop on board, and cannabis smoker on board. My man Live Like, you know what I mean, Davis in the building, and we talk about his career, you know, how he first started in general, and all sorts of shit, you know. We talk about how cannabis influences him, how he started into music, because he didn't really start with music, and now he's popping. Now he got a couple songs, you know, Wacky and World War III.
And then he just dropped one called Zipper on Friday, because I just recently found out.
Jacket?
Yeah, and it was called Jacket. But
Yeah,
he goes like, on the hook, he goes up and down with the
zipper.
zipper.
It's
And
funny.
I just recently found out that he's a partner with Fashion Nova, so he just killed that mesh. So I think that song like goes with that vibe.
So he got a little something with that. Shout out to him. Shout out to Hip Hop Mike, because that's how it all started. You
and
know
that's
what
his
I mean?
manager, man, and definitely like he's the one that brought him around and put him on to us. And you know, the kid is super talented. Mike is like, you know,
Always been supportive.
super supportive of us, you know what I mean? So, you know, he's working with him, so he put us on to him. And
yeah, he's a little poppin'. So for him to take out his time and come in, you know, he was like, hell yeah. As soon as he got the phone call, Hip Hop Mike told him, yo, the guys want to interview you in the podcast. He was like, he jumped on it. So, you know, I'm definitely happy, and I want you guys definitely to hear that, you know, so you can hear the I guess the hip hop from his side of view, you know, from the entertainment side of what he look, you know, what he think about us and what we think about him and all this good shit, you know what I mean?
And then he kind of broke down, like, you know, not many artists do, like, you know, how everything has happened organic for him, how he just started really doing Vine videos. He always was into music. And how, you know what I mean, like he grew up in this social media era, and how he mixed the two up, the social media world and the music world. Absolutely. And that's what made him the amazing artist he is today.
Absolutely. He did his thing, man. But definitely everybody, I think you'll find this one interesting, because we don't got too many hip-hop artists in our roster. So this is a good one, guys. And
I believe he's going to be really big in the future, so I'm honored to have him now, because that kid is destined for great things.
Absolutely. Everybody stay tuned. Live Like Davis. HappyMunkey.
All right. Today, everybody, all right. On the HappyMunkey podcast, we got a special guest. Actually, we got a rare guest, because we usually don't have artists here. But this is a real big artist for us, because he's a New York native. He is
the brand new generation.
I think he's
Gang
one of the
taking
leaders of the
over.
new school.
Gang.
Leaders of the
That's
new
what I would
school.
say, leaders
If you
of the
want to
new
say
school.
that, yes, sir. And
Coming
he
heavy.
has always showed us support. Since he met us, and the
Scholar
same for
and
him.
a gentleman.
yeah,
Got
because
to.
he's a gentleman. Because this is my thing,
Scholar and a gentleman.
I don't go crazy. Me and you, we real New Yorkers. We don't get like star studded or whatever the case may be with a lot of artists that we have met and that we know, right?
Yeah.
So for this young man to show this type of respect and love and support for us, it means a lot for me. You know what I mean?
Lot of
I respect
poise,
that.
because character. You can't. They don't sell that nowhere. That's how I knew he was gonna go places, because you know what I mean. They don't sell character, moral principles. You know what I mean? Nowhere. And they say character is destiny, and intention is everything. And what I mean,
Right.
your vibe and your
Go
energy
hand in
was
hand.
always pure and real. You know what I mean?
Absolutely,
Got you,
ladies
man.
and gentlemen. So today we got on the boulevard my man.
Love like Davis, man. I'm here, man. Love like. What's
Let's
up?
go.
Love like everybody.
Oh, yeah. I feel the love, man. Listen.
Yes, sir.
Listen, man.
Thank you for coming on the boulevard to rock with your brothers.
Nah, I
man.
appreciate y'all for having me, man. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna pop it off and just say off rip. I don't do podcast. I don't do interviews. I don't do none of that. But like, I really jack y'all. Like you said, like the energy has always been so pure. And when Mike brought up, I was like, hell yeah. Like it wasn't even a question. I'm like, I don't care what we doing. Like I want to definitely do it tonight as soon as possible.
So it's an honor to have you here, Davis. Why don't you tell the people, a little bit about, what you do, what you know what I mean? Tell them a little bit
good
about,
stuff.
you know what I mean, what they
They don't know
for.
live.
Right. They don't know. Listen,
Where
man.
can they find you?
You can find me on all social medias at Live Like Davis. I'm from 3020. That's 1,000 years ahead. The reason why I say I'm from 3020 is because everything I do is futuristic. And if you ain't catch the waves, because you're not from 3020.
Yes, sir.
Spooky. Nah, but like, I'm from Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy, New York, man. That's where I'm at right now. That's why I put on for New York in general. But like, that's where I'm at. I do some social media videos and I do music. Like I like the acting and I like the music. I like to do both. I don't want to just pick one or the other. I don't
You ain't
like
trying to
to.
be caught in no
Yeah,
box,
for
right?
Nah. I'm trying. And that's
Do
really
it
what
all.
the fans like. The fans like to see you just live your life and just be genuine, not try too hard, And that's really what my motive, like that's how I live by. I do things I really love with a passion, but at the same time, I don't force nothing. You know what I'm saying?
And that's why I think that, you've made the impact that you made, because I feel like everything feels so staged and so forced nowadays.
Right.
Everybody tries to be everything but themselves. And, when you see somebody, from the new school, like you just come in, like, it is what it is. Like, this is who I am. It's a breath of fresh air, because nobody takes that approach anymore.
Yeah, because niggas they looking at Instagram, they trying to be better than one another, and it's like, I used to be like that too, looking at other people's journeys and, comparing it to mine, but then after, like, you really get one with yourself, you really hone in and understand that it's, you on your own journey, you feel me? So I don't gotta force nothing. Y'all gonna rock with me or you not. You feel me?
Yeah, man. And it's good to see the youth, because there's a lot of motherfuckers that's coming out and they, gang, and we get it, it's cool, but not everybody could be gang,
Yeah,
right?
man. Everybody gotta have their own wave.
Have your own wave, bro. So that was another thing that stood out for us. You know what I mean? Because we don't stay in tune too much with the music. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta listen to the radio to see what's going on right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. Because we in the car, sign passing by. All right,
Right.
let's listen. You know what I mean? So to meet you and it just it was more of a personal thing than it was like, oh, that's Live Like the rapper.
Right.
It's more like
I felt that too,
you know
even
what I mean?
when we met the first introduction with shouts to HHM Hip Hop Mike.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
know,
shout out to
fan,
him, man.
big
He's
fan.
also been a guest on a podcast, man.
Yeah.
That's the brother. That's the
Right,
homie.
and just off the strength of just we going into the building, he's like, yo, I know you're not gonna believe I got the illest place to show you. That's literally the introduction.
That was the-
the first thing he ever told me, he's like, we about to go to HappyMunkey. I said, what? What the fuck is that? Like, where are we going? He's like, bro, I'm not gonna even tell you. When we walk through these doors, you're not gonna believe me. So it's like the fact that y'all got that reputation with people, is amazing. And like, and it feels good because it's like people like I can relate to. Like, y'all really coming up from. I can tell y'all coming up from y'all grinding. Y'all started with nothing, y'all and created something. So it's like it came in fruition.
Absolutely.
Exactly,
Absolutely.
exactly.
My brother.
I wanted to ask you, man. You know what I mean? Like you said, I know you do the comedy thing and the music thing. Did the music or the comedy come first?
I'm being honest. At first, I was doing music. I started with the music because my mom put me onto the music since I was like 16. But I didn't really care for it. I was just doing it just to like, just make her happy type. And then like my brother came up with just at the time there was this app called Vine, and my brother started. He downloaded Vine and he was making videos in the house, and he was like, "Yo, we can make funnier videos together versus me by myself." And then we did videos together for like a week, and then my video started going viral. And that's really how that whole doing comedy videos started.
Again, organic, natural.
Yeah.
You ain't force it.
My brother too. He could have been on some, because we did a page together. And as soon as the page started getting viral, he was like, "Bro, I'm gonna be honest. I want to go to school and do something completely different. I was doing this for fun." He was like, "So if you want to do this seriously, go ahead."
That's some real shit right
and
there.
I did it seriously, and he still respects it. Don't bother me. He just happy for me, like.
That's crazy.
Genuine.
Yeah. That's what's up, man. That's why you go big, man, because you got that love already behind you. You know what I
Right.
mean? And you're not doing no sneaky, funny shit.
Nah.
It's just all love. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. 100%.
Right now, that single that you got out, Waukee,
Ooh,
making some
Waukee.
waves right
I was
now.
gonna ask you about
was
that
a
right
coward.
now.
That right there is getting some waves right there.
All right, so
I'm a fan.
tell this older gentleman right here, what does Waukee mean?
Waukee means, listen, you moving funny. Like, you know how people be like, "Oh, you moving
Yeah.
waukee." That's what that mean. Waukee. Or sometimes waukee could also mean like you lit. Like, say I'm at HappyMunkey and I'm smoking too much blunt. Oh, now I'm moving waukee because I'm feeling good.
Right.
So it's two meanings, But like that whole situation with the Waukee 2.0, like that came about the craziest way, because like, I didn't even know Swipe when I first recorded that song. Like,
Crazy.
I just cut the first verse and I left the second open, and I was just like, damn, it'd be ill to have somebody from Brooklyn that I really jack. Like, and I knew of them, but I didn't know them personally yet. And I went to LeSuc that night. It's crazy because I ended up going to HappyMunkey after LeSuc. Wow, that's crazy. I feel like y'all know a lot of my stories now. Yo, but for real. And then he was outside in the car and he just was like, "Yo, live." And then we just connected from there. And then, because he knew somebody that I knew, and then we just made it together.
Now the
That's how it
synergy,
should
you
be.
could
That's
tell the
good.
synergy
Yeah,
and the
that's how it
chemistry
should
was
be.
crazy there.
That's how it should be.
Yeah,
man.
I really rock with Swipey, man. Like,
Shout out to
man.
him.
Shout
That's
out
the
to
homie,
Swipey,
man, and the
man.
whole
It's a
woo.
Swipey.
We
yeah,
fuck with
Favi,
that,
all
man.
of them, either all of them, or Brooklyn.
Word up, man. Nah, man. So you wanna hit us with the first? We always ask everybody who come on the podcast, some sort of experience, because this is HappyMunkey, so we like to talk about the cannabis here.
Yes, sir.
Can you please give us the first experience of getting high, my friend?
Oh man, the first time I got high, man. Oh man, I was in the garage with my little brother, and we had just came home from school, and at this time, like all the kids I remember it was like middle school too. This is crazy. It was middle school. I hope my mom listens. But I was in middle school, and all the kids was smoking before me and my brother. I remember, like, and we came home one day, and I remember there was this kid that got off the bus, and he was just like, "Yo, you trying to cop?" And he had like a nick, and we were like, "Damn, we don't smoke, but like, I want to see what this is about. Like, I want to at least see what it is." So we looking at the packages, don't know nothing, looking at, and then we just rolled that shit in a paper, like a real
Like a sheet of
loose
paper.
leaf paper, like rolled the weed in a loose leaf paper, like as little kids.
In the loose leaf?
Yes, bro. The first time on some other crazy shit, but we really got high, and I was like, wow, like. And then
What grade was this?
This was at least like middle school. It was middle school,
Okay.
heavy in middle school.
And when did you become like a frequent flyer, getting high all the time?
Man, that was like a little bit later. I didn't just start smoking off rip right there. I tried it. I was just like, all right, I'm still a young nigga. Like, let me see what, go through life a little bit. But then, as soon as I started really making music, I'm gonna be honest. Once I started really getting in the studio, it was over. Like, the studio is nothing better than when you high in the studio. You come
creative
crazy.
come out, right?
What? You start spitting crazy off the loud.
I don't know how it's affecting you, but right now it's affecting us, man. It's coronavirus. I know it must have fucked some gigs up. I was supposed to speak in South by Southwest, so tell me how it's affecting you, because it's affecting a lot.
Bro, we was going to South by Southwest. I was performing in LA. I had like 2 stops on the Baby Show. everybody's shit got canceled. Like it's over. And that was like, I'm gonna be honest, I've never performed or opened for him. You know what I'm saying? And it's like his people reached out to me on some genuine.
Damn, man, that's crazy. That's how you can tell that you're ringing bells like Sunday at 12 o'clock.
Yo, but like, yeah, this Corona shit is really crazy. It's crazy to see New York City so dead right now. Walking outside, you really like peep. It look like I Am Legend, the Will Smith shit.
Shit, it's a movie shit.
Straight up, man. Times Square looking glam out here in these streets. It's crazy, right?
Shit looking like Gotham City in the Joker movie for
They
real.
got everybody holding a hand sanitizer. You hear me? Like hand sanitizer,
mask and all that.
Bro, no lie. I took the train. I haven't took the train in a while. I had to take the train down here, bro. My hands was in my pockets the whole time. Bro. I ain't touch nothing.
You ain't even a land.
I was like, I ain't even go. We didn't even go chance it, bro. I ain't. Soon as I know I was walking down the stairs, I had my hands in my pocket. Had to stay on the train with the hands in my pocket. I walked out with hands in my pocket, bro. I ain't even trying to fuck around.
Yo, right now you be in public. Somebody cough or sneeze, you see everybody
really
turn
just
around
see,
like everybody turn around looking like they're ready to pop off or somebody.
This shit crazy out here.
Nah, that's really a fact.
So yeah, man, it's affecting everybody. Like I said, with the shows and all that and events, like it's quiet right now.
Nah, they cancel everything. All the tours is done. Like across all artists, the world is losing money right now.
The world is at a halt.
Everything's on pause mode.
Yeah, and they keep closing stuff and closing stuff and closing shit, man.
So,
I'm like, man.
So aside from the what you mentioned with the music and the comedy, you mentioned acting. Have you done anything, or do you plan on doing anything with the acting?
Only thing I've done acting wise is gone viral on social media. I'm gonna be honest. Like I've done a few like quick appearances on like Wild 'N Out and shit, but not on the show. But like I've seen them shoot the live show, but like I've never had no acting gigs yet, because I feel like I was more in my music bag right now. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm more known right now for like because that's what I'm constantly pushing. Like my songs that's out and visuals that's out. So it's like, but it's when I get to a point where I'm really like at the height of my career, I'm really definitely gonna pivot over and do some movie shit, because movies is
man. Why not?
Why not? Like
why not? Why not? It's good to have that goal now, bro.
Yeah, man.
Fuck that.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like even after this, I might have to push towards that. Get a few acting gigs too.
Listen, man, you gotta put it in the air, man. It comes to fruition. You know how it is.
For real,
man.
It's out there.
So as far as the music, was anything new coming out?
Oh man, I got this song called Jacket that I'm about to drop, and it's spooky. I'm gonna be honest, it's real spooky.
Talk to me about World War III, my brother.
World War III. Oh,
Talk to me about World War III, my brother. What
World
you
War
mean?
III. Hold on. I made it here in the hotel. Fucker tonight. I just dropped a single called World War III. It wasn't even really a single. I was supposed to be dropping Jacket as a single. The paperwork was taking long because we had a few people who was interested in like doing the situation. Like we were trying to sign some shit or whatever. So I was like, nah, my fans is beasting for me to put out a song. So I'm gonna put out this. And I literally went to the studio. And then my boy was in town from Louisville and was like, yo, I'm in a hotel in Manhattan, whatever, pull up on me. I got my recording equipment, whatever. And I recorded that shit in 20 minutes. We dropped it. I was like, nah, I'm putting this out. It's fire. Like,
I ain't gonna lie. I feel like right now, you know, me watching like, 20, 30 years of hip hop, I feel like New York is like right now.
Yo.
Like New York is, it's like, you know how like it goes around south, east, west.
Yeah.
Like it came back around to New York right now.
New York is really.
That's how it feels, right?
Bro, like, it's the talent out here is really getting spooky, for real.
Yeah, man.
Like,
New York is back on deck when it comes
for
to
real.
that music
Yeah, I
right
see.
now.
It's getting wacky out here.
yeah, it's getting wacky. I heard that.
Yeah. You could tell right now that, like, you know what I mean? Like,
It's in a good state.
everybody, like, you know what I mean, in the game is looking for that New York sound.
It's unfortunate what happened to Pop.
Oh, man.
That's one thing that's like,
Very
they really try to take New York out with that one.
Yeah, man, because
Very
he was like kind of carrying the torch
He
right
was
there.
really carrying
on
the
some
torch.
global
Yeah,
shit.
Yeah, for real. Like, he was getting
agree,
recognized by a lot of other artists outside of.
So that's another question, man. What since you in music, what artists influence you, and you know what I mean, and like you looked up to coming up?
I mean, coming up, like, I listen to a lot of music. I listen to all types of music too. I don't just listen to hip hop. I listen to all types of music. Like my mom played Lauryn Hill. Me growing up, I'm saying like old stuff, Hove, Andre 3000, like, but like I'm in tune with everything. That's what really gives me that advantage, is that I'm really a a fan of all types of music, but like who I say really inspired me the most, I say, like I said, Andre 3000, Hove, Ye. Like
Those some
they
good inspirations right there.
Yeah, more so for their accolades and what they contributed to the game. You know, like not style like sound wise, but I'm saying more so they hustle and
How they move.
how they moving. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Man.
Listen, man, we all aspire to inspire, you know, and it's
Right.
just like, you know what I mean? You know, when you see people that come from where you come from look like make it to these heights, you know what I mean? It makes it more feasible.
Right. It's like, I could really do that.
Of course, man. Now you doing it, man. Like I said, man, I'm a fan, man. I'm
Nah,
feeling the
I rock with
vibes,
y'all,
man.
For real, bro. Because you know it's real. Like, I'm not telling y'all no bullshit. I know y'all not.
Nah, of
with
course
me, man.
not,
It's
man.
love.
We only rock with the real, man. And you know what I mean? Real recognize real, and you always look familiar since we met you, man.
You need to get in the studio.
Yo,
He got
man,
bars. He
if I
trying to
heard
front.
that,
He got
been
bars.
telling me that for a minute, man. He writing a book, he said, with my punchlines, man.
Low key, it's
Right,
over here in
Ralph?
the notes. So,
Ralph said he writing a book.
Oh man, y'all crazy, man.
What do you think about the whole BK drill sound?
that shit is lit right now. I'm gonna be
That shit
honest.
came
I
like a
love it.
tsunami out of nowhere and took over, fucked the whole game up.
I'm gonna be honest. Like, I just started. It made me get into more of the UK stuff because I never even was paying attention to the grime stuff. If I'm being genuinely honest, like I've heard it,
That
I've
turned
skipped
people
over it,
on, yeah.
but like New York came with such a different kind of twist.
Yeah. Them Brooklyn guys, man. Brooklyn
They
guys.
came like we came crazy.
Yeah,
Nah,
man.
brother, even me, brother, you talking about you, even me, that sound caught me off guard, and it just like took over like a tsunami.
Yeah.
It was like, and it's everybody. It ain't just us. Like everybody from the whole industry, from no matter where they from, everybody looking for that sound.
Yeah.
Because what happens is like I feel like before that, like it was starting to get like real, like generic, like everybody with the same sound, same beats, and like that changed the dynamic a little bit, shook shit up a little bit.
That was the thing. Everybody was hopping on the same production, and then that was just different. I was like, oh, this is. I'm just happy New York had a twist on it, and it wasn't nowhere else.
That's what I'm saying.
Because New York really, telling you.
I tell you, it's like New York is back on deck right now.
Y'all came a little strong right now, and it's like lately right now, a whole bunch of y'all, man. So, so it's I'm fucking with it, man. I'm fucking with the youth right now, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. Usually, I'm not really like a fan of people who like do the same shit. That's why I like this. You know what I mean? Because it kind of like came with something new.
And I feel like that's why the part of the reason that New York is back, aside from the sound, is just like people like you, people like Swipey, people like Fabi, all of y'all. Like it's like instead of jacking what other people's doing, like everybody came with their own wave, and like you said, like it is what it is. It is who we are, and that's why I feel like the table turned a bit.
And let's not forget that when we do see y'all in the clubs, y'all partying.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? You know this is difference. You know what I mean? These niggas got their drill songs and all that, but they got everybody dancing in the club. Y'all got everybody dancing. Niggas ain't mean mugging and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Everybody dancing. Everybody having fun. It's like a brand new situation, so you could feel it. You know what I mean? It's a new movement. You know what I mean? You could feel it in the air, bro.
And then you know what's the other thing that told me that you already know, because you know the apple never falls far from the tree. I seen you rocking with Hip Hop Mike, and like I said, he's one of our brothers. I got a lot of love for him. That's my brother. How did you and him link up? Because that also makes a big difference, like who you rocking with. You rocking with the right people. Yeah,
man. I mean, that's the thing. Me and HHM, another situation like where it was 100% genuine. Like we both had a mutual friend or whatever that like we both knew or whatever. My boy was like, I want to introduce you to this guy, Mike or whatever. Like, we're going to AC this night. He used to manage. It's crazy too, because he used to manage another kid. Mike was managing another kid at this point, and I wasn't managed by anybody. I was just doing my solo or whatever. And we went to Atlantic City. We was just chilling with him the whole time. Me and my boy just just chopping it up, talking generic stuff or whatever. And then we got in the hotel. And we started rolling up loud. You know how this is always when it comes down to the point of really knowing what the vibes is.
That's the great equalizer.
Yeah, right
we rolled up, and we was chopping up. He's like, yo, where you from? And I'm like, I'm from here. And he's like, what are you doing? And it's like, damn, we have so much in common. Like, we just started talking. Like, we've come from the same place. Like, this is lit. And then I played him some music, and he was like, nah, like, let's do something. And like, and I'm gonna be honest, it's been a long journey. Like, I'll be real. Like, I've have a lot of growth now where I am now. You know, like, I wasn't always this sharp or like really knowing what I want to do. Like, it took like a lot of like training. It's like not a lot of people gonna really stick with you through like your build
Nah,
up.
brother, and
You know what I'm
and
saying?
you know what? I known that man for a minute, and you know I seen him be around mad artists, and he just don't put his stamp on anybody. So he must have really saw something in you because he always came around, and you know he been around a bunch of music people or whatever. So
Right.
he must have really, like you said, yeah, I must have had some really good chemistry. He must have really saw that. You know what I mean? You somebody that he could go in the long haul with.
Right, exactly. Like, he pushed me. Like, we be, don't get me wrong. Like, I love him. That's my brother. But like, obviously, every brother, like, you know, y'all always gonna have y'all fights, like disagreements.
Of course.
But like, I know that it always comes from a place of you see this from me. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I want to be surrounded by is people who's gonna push me. So like, regardless.
It's that there's a true saying, brother. So you know, is that the real people in your life don't yes you and tell you what you want to hear. They tell you what you don't want to hear. And if they not, then you ain't got the right people around
Right.
you.
That's a fact.
Straight up and down. It goes down. In the boulevard.
That was real spill. That was real spill.
Now, of course, brother, because it's just like if you got a bunch of yes men gonna laugh at all the jokes, say all the songs are hot, you doomed.
Yeah.
Right.
You doomed.
done.
Like, I mean, yeah, I mean, you need like somebody that's gonna be like constructive criticism. Nah, yes, no, maybe so. You feel what I'm saying?
Basically.
I agree.
So right now, since you like, you know what I mean, heavy smoker, what is one of your favorite strains that, you know what I mean, that you really be going hard with out of all the million ones that's out here?
I got to name like two.
There you go, brother.
Three.
No right or wrong answers, opinions, is whatever you feel.
Man, I like. Damn, I don't want to be generic. I don't like to be generic. I like Blue Cookies. That's one. I like
Okay.
Blue Cookies. Calm. Damn. And I like Gary Payton. I recently had the Gary Payton. That was real different.
You enjoyed Gary Payton?
Yeah, that
All
was.
right.
And cereal milk. Cereal milk is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
What you rock with? Dutchess, Backwoods?
Oh, I'm a backward.
Backwoods.
I'm a backward, but I like the Dutchess because anytime I smoke Dutchess is with Mike, so I always have a backward. He'll have a Dutch. So like, but I don't know about cigarillos. I don't do those.
No,
How about traveling so far in your career? Where you had the opportunity to touch down to so far?
Oh man, I've done a lot of traveling. I'll say that. Like,
Nice.
yeah, I've been to a lot. I haven't been in the UK. That's one place. Like I've been pretty much everywhere but the UK area. Like, and that's really what like my goal is to like perform out there and do like some big ass shows.
Big
out
ass
there.
stadium or
Right.
some shit outdoor.
I'm actually
shit.
having my first, like, I'm doing my first festival in June in Barcelona. That's gonna be my first time performing outside of the States.
That's gonna be big right there.
That's gonna be dumb.
Should be big, man, if they don't keep fucking with us.
Yeah.
out
Oh
here.
yeah. The Corona, yo,
So, you know.
that's crazy. You just
So let's see. You know how that shit go.
That's crazy.
There's some dudes that they be talking about from the UK that's part of that drill movement. Some dude named Skepta. I don't know if you heard this shit before. They supposed to be like the big leaders of that whole drill movement over
Yeah,
there.
Skepta is hard. I be seeing Drake do songs for him and stuff. Skepta, Dave.
Skepta, you listening? You gotta check out my boy Like
Yo,
Life
Skepta,
Davis,
man,
man.
tap
Got
in,
a
listen,
studio
man.
with my boy.
Yo, I go crazy on them UK beats, man. Listen, I'm gonna link with a few UK bruv.
Yeah, brethren.
Bruv.
That's another one we were supposed to go to. There's this cannabis conference called Spanibus. It just passed like a week ago.
Yeah,
We were supposed to go. Shit
Oh,
got
that's
canceled
hard.
too. Same shit.
got
Shit-
canceled?
Yeah, man.
Damn, they not playing fair.
At all. So, brother, we ask everybody, Dave. I'm interested to hear your take on it. Everybody that comes on the show, we ask them if you had to describe HappyMunkey, the brand, the movement, the spot, everything you know about it in one word, what would it be and why?
One word,
Yeah.
I would say movie. It's a movie.
Why?
Like it's really a movie. Cause like I'm gonna be honest. Like when I first came, I was like, when we walked in the door, I'm like, all right. First of all, they whipping out iPads. You gotta remember this shit is correct. Like it's not like y'all doing no just hood shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your location is correct. Your security is correct. Your entry is correct. The establishment is fire. Like the art, like it's just so much layers to the shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's really what makes it ill because it's not just like. Don't get me wrong. I love loud. I can smoke anywhere. I rock with any, like if it's some fire, I'm rocking with it. But the fact that y'all really put together the aesthetic and it's like the brand, because that's really what's gonna get people to remember you. Like you could have been fucking, you could have had some generic name, you could have had generic logo. I would never remember you. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that it was happy, I was like, all right, I'm never gonna forget that. I'm never gonna, and that's why it is what it is.
Yo, and by the way,
It's a
we had
movie.
that was thank you for those
Thank you.
kind
That
words.
was very
We done
kind,
had
man.
mad
Nah, bro, for
guests.
real.
Nobody ever used movie. That's an original.
Nah.
Yeah, that one is an original one.
Oh man, that was big though. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, man.
Nah,
That was
I already
crazy.
know.
That was crazy.
So, brother, man, it's been an honor and a pleasure, man.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for always rocking with us and believing in
Absolutely.
us, man.
Always.
And we hope you sell 100 million
Yo.
records this year.
Hell
You know
yeah.
it's coming.
Forget
The
about
plaques
us.
is coming.
Don't forget about us, baby, when you
Y'all
go
plaques is-
global. You know what I mean?
Never,
But
never.
you already know, man. You always got a special place right here in the Boulevard with Happy
Yes,
Monkey,
sir.
man.
Yes, sir.
You got our full support. We rock with you, man. You definitely got the Happy Monkey stamp of approval. You been had it.
Absolutely, my brother. Live like.
What's up?
Yes, sir.
Now tell the people all the places they could find you, what you got coming up, all the different links. Plug
Listen,
everything.
man. It's your boy, Live Like Davis. Live Like. What's up? I told y'all I'm from 3020, man. That's 1,000 years ahead. I need y'all to remember that. You cannot get to where I am unless you in a time machine. That's where I'm at right now with it. 1,000 years ahead. Jacket on the way. World War 3 is out right now and it's streaming. Rosenberg just was in my comments talking about send me this. He's gonna play it on the radio. 100 million is coming. Plaques is coming. Happy Monkey, y'all plaque is coming too. I'm sending it. Movie.
Yeah, let's give my brother a round of
Round
applause,
of
man, because we like to give the love while
Yes,
people
sir.
are here, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Remember
man.
where you heard it first. Life Like Davis coming like a tsunami.
Yes, sir.
3020.
Happy 420, everybody. Yes, yes, yes. Like I said, it's a very special episode because it is 420, everybody. The whole month long has been 420, and so this has been a crazy, crazy month, even though we living in these crazy times. But it's still 420 and we still getting high. We talking about this episode, we talk about my man, Sid Gupta, co-owner of Pistil Point.
Pistil Point.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Also
yes, sir.
a restaurateur,
New York
also
native.
nightlife guru, and most importantly, a New York native.
Absolutely.
So he is definitely somebody that's interesting for you guys to hear because, true New Yorker, born and raised, restaurateur, nightclub owner, and
Absolutely.
then also a big entrepreneur in the cannabis scene in Oakland, in Oregon, and California.
Absolutely. He
So
owns
there's
a bunch of
not
fucking
many,
licenses.
people that have all these things on their resume, and I'm born and raised in New York. So I think it's gonna be really good to talk about this man, because he's also been like an inspiration and big supporter of us. We met him. I think it was a friend of a friend that invited him to one of our events. And then, he was really loving what we were doing and showed us a lot of love and really respected the brand. And then actually introduced us to an event he had with where Burner
from Cookies was
was performing at his nightclub and actually at Hudson Terrace, and made a formal introduction to us and really rolled out the red carpets for us and showed us a lot of love. You know what I mean? So definitely appreciate him always believing and supporting us before a lot of people even knew about us.
Absolutely. So again, he's like one of these first New Yorkers that took a step, at least from like our generation, and like he actually took a big step into the cannabis industry and didn't play no games, and and went to other states and got licenses. He explains all this stuff in the interview that we do. So definitely stay tuned, everybody, with the dope ass interview with my man Sid, Ramon and Vlad, Happy Monkey Podcast.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Happy Monkey Podcast, aka the Boulevard.
Yes, sir. We on the Boulevard with this very, very special guest, man that wears many hats. He's basically New York born. We always love repping New York born, hard-working dudes, you know, from the ground up. Also bi-coastal, so he's definitely repping New York hard. He's not just repping New York in New York. He's repping New York everywhere else he goes. You see what I'm saying? Definitely a boss. Definitely, I would say he will go down a New York legend. My friend, our friend, everybody, Sid from Pistil Point, everyone.
Thank you, Ramon. Thank you for having me.
Tell the people about yourself and what you do and whatever you want them to know about the magical Sid Gupta.
Oh yeah. Always with the intro too, huh? It's a lot of pressure. Well, what is there to know? I'm born in New York City. We're in the restaurant business and the nightclub business. We own Hudson Terrace, Village Poorhouse, Sidebar, have a piece of the Ainsworth. Well versed in the nightclub and restaurant hospitality industry. From New York, which is a heavily regulated industry, liquor licenses and such. And, you know, being part of that culture for the last 15 years, I got to tell you, it burned me out to a large extent. And I've always been very passionate about cannabis since we were kids. You know, you guys definitely know.
Yeah, of course.
You know, it's always been a major part of my life. And as we saw legalization happening, you know, first in Colorado and then other states, as soon as Colorado happened, to tell you the truth, I felt like I missed the boat. I'm like, damn, that opportunity's gone now, you know? Don't ask why, but like it just because I went there during medical, and I had an opportunity to get in during medical, and it was going rec 12 months later, and everyone's like, it's going rec. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
Right? Yeah, of course, absolutely.
Of course,
What the fuck
that's
does that
Happy
mean, right?
Monkey Podcast, uncensored, baby. On the
Uncensored,
Boulevard.
uncensored.
This ain't Jay Leno.
No.
No, so I'm like, what does that mean? They're like, I'm like, you can get weed in 7-Eleven if you're 21 and over. They're
Right.
like, yeah, 7-Eleven. I'm like, bullshit.
Right.
And then that too, like I went to the Cannabis Cup there. Shouldn't have named. I went to a festival over there.
Yeah.
And you know, the setup for the way the laws were at that time was like, yo, like, are we gonna have this in New York?
Right.
Is this like are we really voting for this? Right?
This would be
It's
dope.
just-
Absolutely.
no, but
right.
no, it wasn't.
What? At the
It
time.
Before rec, it
was-
wasn't
it was
dope.
Before rec,
well,
was it?
Shit, that's even a loaded thing to say because that took some time, right?
Yeah.
It was so early. That's what it was. It was so early to the party that it just wasn't regulated and it wasn't professional. You get what I'm saying? So there was a lot of holes in it, right? And there was a lot of ways for that not to progress.
Yes.
Right, for that not to evolve, for a legislator from Washington coming into Colorado to be like, what does legal cannabis look like? And be like, fuck no.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what I saw as an operator having liquor
It
licenses.
wasn't a good first impression.
As an operator having liquor license in restaurants, being in a regulated business,
Yeah.
that wasn't what I was hoping to see as regulated cannabis.
Okay.
Right? And I really felt, you know, the only way this is going to work is if we have regulations as an industry and do this professionally. We were breaking federal law. So is it better to break it in a way of, you know, very like being calculated and being professional and being sophisticated and being consistent and not letting the dollar prove to be the first agenda, right? Like let's actually make this work. And I think we've become a lot better about that as an industry. But in the beginning, it was cowboy shit.
It is
Cowboy.
Right?
It's
So
cowboy
that was year one for me. 12 months later, I'm going back. It's the first year of rec. We're watching 60 Minutes, CNBC. We're watching all of it. We're
Yeah,
seeing the
now
fucking dispensaries ran out of
now
weed.
it's all over,
I'm talking
yeah.
to a homie. Yo, my boy made $10 million last month. I'm like, fuck. Like, I missed it.
Yeah, you missed
It's over. So then I
Nope,
went back
missed out.
out again to the festival for 420. It was 50 times the size.
50 times.
50 times.
Now rec.
1 year to
Being-
another.
Being rec
1 year
now.
to another.
You
I'm
saw
not going
the-
to speak to the product.
Right.
That didn't make me happy. Edibles that weren't being tested properly and fucking moldy that shit did not make me happy. But it was 50 times the size. We had seen it on CNBC. We saw the cover of the New York Times the day they went legal. This was happening.
Yeah,
And-
the lines were crazy. Yeah. It was crazy.
Right?
It was like an explosion, right?
Yeah.
Huh?
It was like an explosion.
It was an explosion. And I was lucky enough, you know, we come from some pretty good circles. We're blessed to have had a lot of opportunities, all of us, right? The three of us. And I was around certain people. And I got to meet the owner of the largest edible company at the time. and he saw that I was interested and I was asking certain questions, and I of course had a resume to be like, hey, like I'm not just
Right.
like this is what I do and this is what I think. And we had a 4-hour conversation. Weed's a wonderful thing that way, by the way. Wonderful thing. So we had a 4-hour conversation, and he gave me enough information and inspiration where 2 weeks later I was on a plane to Oregon. Okay, it was the next state going rec. Colorado was rec at that point. Washington was going rec. Really fucked up tax structure. Alaska was rec. The kid was not moving to Alaska.
He wasn't trying to go to Alaska.
Kid was not
Sid,
moving to
and get
Alaska.
your igloo and live your best life.
I am Indian, so
Oh man, you might.
I could make that work.
You could.
I'm not sure if I have the right haircut for that weather, though.
So tell us what happened when you got to Oregon.
So I got to Oregon. It was the next state going rec. I got there during their medical program. California obviously had medical too, but Oregon was the next state going rec. And of course, the aspirations were be in Cali, be in New York, be everywhere. So I'm like, fuck it, let's get this regulated thing going, get the licenses, get the SOPs, understand the practice of growing in a regulated market and processing and making the products and all that. Get the brand out there. So we started that.
What year is this?
2014. I got out there 2013 and began the hunt. 2014, I actually had lights on. I had about a 2-year medical run before we applied for our rec licenses. Within 6 months, we were the largest on the record. This might sound boastful, right? But largest on the record indoor
It's
growers.
just a fact. Yeah,
It's just a fact. But that was with 100 light operations. I had just started within 6 months. This was my first build out was okay. Started with a little bit, put up 100 lights, right? Largest in the state on the record. Because everybody was off the record. They was big.
It was still the Wild Wild West.
But when I was giving that tour and I was pitching those investors on the record,
sir.
I'm the largest on the record.
Yes, sir.
Right?
That's
Yes,
all
sir.
that
That's
matters.
what matters. That's what matters.
That's all that matters.
That's what counts.
But we were able to expand that to having the largest indoor supply through the brand Pistil Point in Oregon. We're in 120 shops during medical. All those licenses, a lot of them, the medical shops, converted to recreational. So we had those existing relationships. The state, unfortunately, issued way too many licenses. So there's a lot of growers that came online after us. I was the first rec license for indoor approved in the whole state. So we had a huge jump where, like, during medical, I was averaging $2,500 a pound or whatever. First year of rec, $3,600 a pound, $3,400 a pound.
Yeah, 'cause shit
to
changed.
this day, if you go to the inventory tracking system in that state, I have the highest price ever paid for a pound in the state of Oregon. And I'm
What
going
was
to take
that?
that shit to the bank.
What was that?
That was the lemon Skittles.
What was the number?
34, 3,600.
That's crazy. That's big.
It
For
was
the
high.
West Coast. That's
For the West Coast for a regulated market. But that's simply because you didn't have enough licenses turned on yet. There was only like 80 indoor grows at the time. There was several hundred dispensaries. The demand was still there. Demand doesn't change. When we go legal in New York, demand's not
So
going to
there was
change.
a-
It might
there
go
was
up a
a-
little bit, but like
there was a high demand, low supply at that time.
correct, of course. So then once there was an overabundance of supply, that's when we shifted into more of the wholesale business and we started supporting a number of different farms. I've worked with almost 200 different farms and processors and edible brands and you name it, creams, depositories, lubes. Like if you could put weed in it, somebody made it and we probably sold it, right? So we ran the largest wholesale program in the state for the last 3 years under the recreational market. And that's given us considerable relationships in the supply chain. And, as we see federal lifting, we see Oregon and California being the two largest suppliers of what's known as craft cannabis because there's craft cannabis and there's everything else. That everything else...
Just
that,
FYI, this is a personal opinion. The best cannabis I'm smoking as of lately is California and Oregon. Yeah.
thank you
That's
very
just
much.
my humble opinion.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
I
But
concur.
I'm a lifelong New Yorker, as are you.
Yes.
And we've always,
Yes.
sourced where we source.
Yeah.
So we've had, we personally speaking, three of us have had different relationships and experiences with where cannabis is from and what our thoughts are on it, right?
Yes.
But yeah, California and Oregon, because of the head start, I'm saying head start. It doesn't mean you can't grow good weed in New York. It means that they've been doing it for 60 years.
Yes,
Yeah.
they've been growing
You know what I'm
great
saying?
weed and
So when you do it for 60,
genetics.
when we what's going to happen when federal lifts, I would think, right? My educated guess is that you could grow this shit in Colombia for 2 cents a gram.
Yes.
You can grow it in Thailand.
Once it
You can
get
grow it in China.
commoditized, it's gonna all be.
We have
whatever.
licensing in Colombia right now. Unfortunately, the regulations there don't allow for import. But again, it's incredibly inexpensive and it's incredibly sophisticated. Colombia is the largest supplier of flowers in the entire world. To the entire world.
Look
You
at
go to
that.
a deli to buy
I didn't know
flowers. They're nice.
That's
it's all-
Colombia.
it's
Yeah.
Colombian flowers. So, taking that infrastructure and being able to transition it in a market that desperately needs an infusion of business and capital. Colombia was a natural transition. My partner's wife, partner Josh is the OG in California. I'm a restaurant guy.
Yes.
I was here. I went there. How am I going to grow weed? I had a friend over there through my East Coast circles. He was established in the California medical market. I said, we got a 300,000 square foot warehouse. Let's build this thing out. We got part way into the project, but it was good. Didn't build the whole thing out.
It's all good, man.
But yeah, his wife is Thai, and we just got licensing in Thailand also.
Congratulations on
thank
that,
you.
man.
I mean, I'm not even sure how economically viable any of this is, dude. I'm serious.
But it's just about getting that head start you learned from the first
start.
go around.
Look, people want to gas up the cannabis business, but we're big in hemp out west as well. We've been very big in hemp. That big warehouse, we ended up doing pretty much all the drying for the state of Oregon, or one of the bigger dryers. We had millions of pounds of hemp.
What do you think about the current state of the hemp market? And,
well, see, that's the thing. That's actually exactly what I'm getting to. The more cannabis that's grown, I would think the cheaper the price becomes. And that's where having the protection by having a brand, by having a following, that's what's going to prevent you from falling victim as a grower or creator to market commoditization. If cannabis is worth $100 a pound, it's worth $100 a pound, right? But this $20 pen that I've been buying for the last 10 years is still worth $20, right? So the opportunity to now create brands that actually identify with certain sectors to be like, dude, we grow this, 100 pounds of it a year, 200 an eighth, dope-ass bottle, custom painting, whatever. There's a huge opportunity for brands to be created within those sectors too. The problem there, though, right, is oversupply again. So when we're looking to markets, you're talking about what's your outlook on hemp. It went from $85, my average pounds being sold last year, to $15 this year, to probably $5 next year, right? So we have to look for other ways to make money. We were very fortunate at that big facility, so we became a drying facility, a storage facility, and a distribution facility.
So you think the hemp ship sailed?
I don't think it sailed. I think that if you can get in or have been, look, I wouldn't get into it right now, right? Unless I was Monsanto, unless I was a farmer with 5,000 acres in upstate New York that had the capital, that had the infrastructure, had the right investors to support me and behind me, because it is a ride, right? You're not going to get rich, 2 months.
Everybody thinks that. Everybody thinks it's going to get rich overnight.
Well, weed grows overnight. That's the funny part, right? You throw a seed, the next day it's a big plant, you go sell it.
It doesn't work like that.
It takes a year to grow weed. one year from the day you thought of it is the first day you're going to smoke a
Sid,
joint.
we always ask everybody on the HappyMunkey Boulevard, and we're really interested in hearing your experience. What was your first experience and interaction with cannabis, like your first time smoking?
You love the loaded questions. I mean, that's a pretty easy one, but for me, it's just two answers there. I had a neighbor growing up, and he was maybe like 2-3 years older than me, but he was like, my big brother's a total, kind of straight shooter. Wonderful guy. Much better dude than I am, right?
So you're admitting that you're the black sheep, Sid?
There's only two of us, and I am the blackest of the sheep in that flock. Promise you that. But yeah, so he wasn't the guy that exposed me to cannabis the way a lot of people are. Older cousin, older brother, whatever. But I had a buddy that lived down the street, and he was a couple of years older, and he skateboarded and did all the shit that I like to do. So I was always kind of trying to hang out with him. So one day I go knocking on his door one summer day. I must have been in 6th grade or something like that. And again, he's 2 years ahead of me. So he's not answering the door. So he's probably in the backyard or something. So I go around the backyard, and he's always had this big tent, like a big camping tent set up in his backyard. And there's a plume of smoke just fucking pouring out of the tent. So I'm like, hey guys, anybody home? And they were smoking a bong. And I hit it wrong, and it was the reverse hit. So I blew the water out. It's I fucked up the weed they had. So I wasn't the favorite guy at that point. But either way, I got 2 hits. I go home, and it's the first time getting high, and I felt fucking great, and I wanted to eat. My mom's like, we gotta go to the dentist. I had a dentist appointment. So I went to the dentist high. Wasn't bad.
So at what age was that?
6th grade. So
6th
whatever.
Grade. So when was it that you became a frequent flyer?
I like that
guy
question.
Getting higher.
I like that question. 8th grade, going into 9th grade probably, but then probably as an everyday cannabis user, 15.
That's it.
And tell us about
15
like
was the real age. Like
during
where
this
it's with me
era,
every day.
What kind of weed were you smoking at the beginning?
What were you listening to? What hip hop? I know you were a hip hop head.
Oh yeah,
so I
of
know you
course.
was-
Come on, we Biggie, Nas, Jada,
Yeah,
Locks,
man.
Rough Riders,
Rough Riders.
probably some Ja Rule at the bottom, but
Yeah.
So tell us, what were you smoking at the time when you first started? Right there, high school, right
dude,
there.
it was what I mean. Probably much like you guys, what my guy had, right? Like how many weed resources did you have?
That's what people don't understand.
That's
right?
it.
People don't
Yeah.
understand.
That's
like,
the East Coast thing.
Yeah.
And that's why I say, as being on the West Coast, that we haven't been getting the best of the best from there. Right now that I'm out there, I'm like, man, you guys never even sent us the good weed.
You guys been holding out. And what?
We got the moldy shit, we got the seedy shit. Why are there seeds in this? Oh, seeds in that bullshit.
What were you rolling in when you first started smoking? What was?
Oh,
Joints,
probably,
Phillies,
I remember having
Dutchess?
a pipe. No, pipe early on.
Okay.
I had to. I probably was a little bit of a late starter to being able to roll my own shit. I always had enough bread in my pocket to like buy my weed. So like the deal that I cut with the older kids was like, you got to roll that shit for me too, and they fucking groan.
That's it.
You know, they make a face about it. But it took me a little while. But you probably by the time I was like 14, 15, I could roll. And yeah, at that point I loved Dutch Masters. And then
Dutch Master.
that was my
that's some
favorite.
true New York shit right
I'm still
there.
smoking Dutchess.
Yeah, no, always the best. We did Phillies, we did White Owls, but like if it was, I had my choice.
Phillies and wow, that's real New
If
York
I had my
shit
choice,
right there.
it was Dutch Masters. It wasn't a Swisher. It wasn't a Backwood.
Nah, there was none of
That's
that.
West Coast shit,
Oh,
yeah.
that's old New York. There was
Yeah,
none
so
of
it was a Dutch, and then when the Vanilla Dutch came out, like
the vanilla
But-
Dutch, that was a big thing.
that's when I think my weed game had like increased like right around that time. I think I was probably like 17, 18.
That's it. That's when it's that's it.
And
That's
the
when
Vanilla Dutch came out, and I'm like,
yeah.
oh, now I'm a real smoker.
Yeah, that's it. The Vanilla Dutch came out. It got you. That one and the Palmer. That's
Yeah.
it.
Tell us a little bit, Sid, about your journey in the hospitality industry.
I grew up in the industry, so my father was in it. Never got to really see him as a kid. Both my parents were really hard. Gave every opportunity they could, every sacrifice. So we were very lucky, but also they were my heroes, my parents, and they still are. And that was my inspiration. I always wanted to be like my dad when I was a kid.
That's what's up.
So yeah, it was natural for me, man. Like it was like I just, I was really lucky from a young age. Probably 10 years old. I'm like, this is exactly what I'm gonna do. And cannabis to me is right there with it, because there's a lot of heart and a lot of spirit that goes into this, and there's a huge sales aspect also. So in hospitality, it's like you want to give your best. You have the best ingredients, the best composition, the best service, the best decor, the best ambiance, the best energy. You're creating that vibe. You always told me a vibe attracts a tribe. And I've used that before, and it's very true.
Absolutely.
So that's hospitality to me, man. That's how I got into it, and that's how we transitioned into this. And we're still in hospitality, but I just see it as one big thing.
Of course, because they say that there's service and there's hospitality. People don't know there's a difference, right?
You do.
Of course. So what do you see right now, the current state of the cannabis market, and what do you see like as far as like in the near future? What do you see, especially here in the East Coast where we're a little behind as far as like legalization? What are the Sid predictions?
If you're a supplier of any sort of binary product, you better go into white labeling and producing for others, because if you don't have the sell-through, you are going to be bottom of the barrel, right? Your product is going to be the cheapest. There's a term called biomass, which I probably heard like 4 years ago, and the first guy that said it to me, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I never heard that shit. Yeah. But it's really caught on, and that's really, it doesn't matter what kind of product you're creating. Biomass could even be bad oil, right? Or even just regular oil. It could be fucking 99% distillate or isolate. Okay, that could be even considered biomass in the sense of we've got a lot of it, and it needs to turn to something else in order for us to make money. So you're going to have a ton of supply. You're going to have a ton of these binary products, the isolates and the distillates and the weed
Topicals
and the high-end weed, the low-end. And I know this because that's what I wholesale. I wholesale everything for everybody. Right. I got my indoor, my mids, I have $30 pounds of weed over there. I've told you, you don't believe me. But seriously, man.
It's crazy.
So that's what it's going to be. So it's brands, baby. Brands.
Now, another $1 million question. What do you think about the vape gate?
It's about time. I'm surprised this didn't happen earlier.
Especially somebody like you, watching the consumption of the industry and of the whole oil and vape game go on to what it got to now.
It's about time, bro. I mean, you guys have seen this up close just like I have. And this also comes back to the joke I made before, which wasn't really a joke. it was a little bit safer when we were smoking flowers. We were still smoking moldy shit and pesticide shit and all that shit. What, now that it's an oil, like, that's not going to be in there? And we always got the worst. It wasn't the tested shit or the regulated shit or whatever. So for the last 10 years, as you have maturity in these markets, whether it's Colorado, California, Oregon, whatever, there's this back door where people are cutting corners. But it's not just that. I mean, I'm sure you have too, but I've heard stories of people just being like, yeah, I buy great distillate and then I cut the fuck out of it. Okay. But where's the regulation? Where's the enforcement? Enforcement and regulation, to me, and I've said this for 6-7 years of being in probably ever since I went to Colorado, are my best friend. Because the more regulation I have, the more it compels me and my industry, my peers, fuck me, what about those guys? To be responsible operators. And that's when the federal government isn't going to give me that hard of a time. Let me go kill 1,000 people a month and poison half the fucking country? Okay. That privilege that we have of selling legal weed, that's now taken away. Big Pharma, here you go. Big Tobacco, you know about regulated shit. Here you go. Sid, see you later. You guys fucked up. Fair enough. So that's our best. Vapegate, it sucks.
What do you think? What do you think led up to it and like made it explode so much?
Great question, because I should have told you that in the first part. It's supply chain, right? So it's not just the guys putting the vitamin E oil or whatever other cutting agents into it. You have a lot of flavoring and additives. You have terpenes, right? This is all blended in for flavoring, whatever else. That could contaminate it. You have the original flower source the oil was made of. If the oil wasn't cleaned properly, that could be what it was. And then you have hardware being made in China by the billion order, right? Not 10 carts, not 20, not a billion fucking carts from China. Now, you have a Chinese factory with I don't know what kind of regulation. I'm not saying that they don't have it, but I don't know what it is, right? Producing, going from making 100,000 of something to 1 billion. What's going to happen? Is there quality control? So was it the hardware? Was it the weed? Was it the oil in the processor contaminating it? Was it the terpenes? Was it the blending agent? So when you ask that question, it's the whole industry. Whole industry needs more regulation.
So ultimately, that will help put us back in the right direction.
I should hope so. I should hope so. And only advice I can give to anybody is operate as responsibly as you can. We have an opportunity right now. We have a window with decriminalization.
Yes, sir.
Don't be stupid about it. There's a lot of fucking ways to make money and do your shit and do it responsibly.
Yes, sir.
That makes a lot of sense. Well said.
Yes, sir.
So what do you think about the current climate specifically in New York State as far as legalization, and what is your estimate and prediction on when it'll go here?
I think that maybe you could answer that better than I could.
Right? Listen, man, we're interviewing the
you know, it's gonna go. How could it not? A huge question is how because we don't have an evolved program here. Cali, Oregon, Colorado, whatever. All these markets have evolved programs. Big question is, before we have that evolution with 1,000 dispensaries the way we need, what are the feds gonna do? So loaded question again, lad. Good with those.
No, we know that we need your expertise and perspective.
What expertise? I smoked a joint and have an opinion.
No
expert.
Yeah, listen, man.
Your opinion is valued. There's some people got cheap opinions. Your opinion is not cheap, my friend.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Likewise. Thank you.
Tell us some future plans for Pistil Point in the near future. Anything you guys know or expanding to? Or anything?
How can we find you?
Well, we have a store located through our website. You can stay tuned with our Instagram, Pistil Point with an I, Pistil. Pistil is the first development that you see when taking a clone off of a plant or growing it from seed to see what this genetic might be, to see if it's a male or a female. So the pistil identifies the plant as a female early on in the development process. So the Pistil Point is just that, plants that are flowering. So pistilpoint.com is a store located. We're in about 300 shops between California and Oregon right now. We're expanding the footprint. Should be in 1,000 stores in the next 12 months in California. Very excited for the opportunity to expand and also to participate with you fine gentlemen in what's to come in New York.
There you go.
Yeah, man. Yes, sir.
So we always ask everybody, Sid, the $1 million question here at Happy Monkey. If you had to describe Happy Monkey, the brand, the movement, in one word, what would that one word be?
I've told you this a million times. You're a unicorn. You're magical. You're special. You're one of a kind. First time I walked in here, I'm like, I did not just see that.
Unicorn.
I did not just see what I saw.
Nobody,
right over here, right in the heart of it, heart of the apple.
Nobody never used unicorn. That's a good one.
You guys have done something very, very special, and I'm very lucky to call you close friends, family.
Thank you,
be part of this movement.
Thank you, my friend. We're honored. We're honored. Yes, sir, my friend. Everybody, one more round of applause for the man, the myth, the legend.
Thank you.
Yes, everybody. Happy 420. Happy 420. Happy 420. I know this year has been a crazy year so far, but it's still 420, and we still getting high. And I hope you're enjoying your high, and I hope you're enjoying yourself at home. Stay safe, stay clean. Definitely stay tuned. We have a lot of things coming. If you haven't checked out our WeTube yet, definitely check out our WeTube. All you got to do is type in HappyMunkey.
And if you haven't gone on our site, HappyMunkey.com, we have a special going on all month, 20% off of everything. So go check out. You never know what Happy Monkey goodies you can find there.
What's good, everybody? This is your nigga Ralph, trying to keep you fresh with the info from Happy Monkey every single podcast. You already know what it is. If you haven't followed us yet, follow us on Instagram at HappyMunkey_ or Happy Monkey Goodies. Now remember, that's monkey with a U. Also, if you haven't checked us out, we're on YouTube. So check out our channel, Happy Monkey TV. Keep us current, live, and everything.